I cannot wait until ratings are released for the Grammys last night. One of my longtime viewers, Connor, he took one for the team last night. He watched the Grammys for us. I was not about to waste 3 hours watching highly produced garbage myself, but Connor, he suffered through it for us. He sent me all of the video footage that I need, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys because it might have been one of the worst award shows that Hollywood has ever presented. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I think I would rather watch live footage from the WNBA dump than waste 3 hours watching the barely human worship the devil, formerly known as Lucifer, who now chooses to identify as Joy Reid. I mean, it was absolutely deplorable television last night at the Grammys. I fully expect the ratings to be at or near record lows. I highly doubt the majority of normal people wasted their Sunday night watching plastic mannequins accept fake awards. But there's also someone else who normal people refuse to watch on Sunday night. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another contender entering the competition for the first annual Hef Awards. To hell with the Grammys. No one cares about the Grammys. There is a new award show that is capturing the attention of America. Competition for the first annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards is really starting to heat up. My inside sources tell me the reigning champion, Bomani Jones, he's starting to get a little bit nervous, but don't worry, Bobo. Don't worry. You are still the heavy favorite to maintain your title of Huge Embarrassing Failure. However, we are seeing Chris Wallace give a valiant effort to take the crown. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't like Chris Wallace. I didn't like him at Fox News. Damn sure don't like him at CNN. You guys remember back in high school, there was that guy who was arrogant. He was condescending. And he had absolutely no reason to be that way. He had no reason to be confident. He thought he was better than everyone else. He always thought he was the smartest person in any room that he was in. Thought he could get any girl that he wanted. We used to call him that guy. Chris Wallace is that guy. Chrissy Wallace, he thinks he's a big deal. For almost 20 years, he thought he was the reason Fox was #1 in the ratings on Sunday morning. He thought normal people were tuning into Fox to listen to Chris Wallace give his condescending opinion. Wallace Chrissy considers himself to be a real journalist. I ask the tough questions. I ask the questions people want answers to. Yeah. I'm going to show you an example in just a second of the questions that Chris Wallace asks that no one wants the answers to. When he left Fox News, I think it was in 2021, but when he left Fox News, Chris Wallace thought that he was going to be the savior at CNN. These non-binary birthing persons will worship the ground I walk on. I am the answer to your ratings problem. Pay me millions of dollars and I guarantee I can bring you dozens of viewers. Why? Because I'm Chris Wallace. Jeff Zucker marketed Chris Wallace as the centerpiece of CNN+. They thought he was going to be the reason hundreds of thousands of shitfucks pay $10 every month to be entertained. During the promotion of CNN+, Chris Wallace told the media that he wanted to show people a different side of Chris Wallace. I've been serious my whole career. I want to show people I can be fun too. I like cucumbers. I eat tree leaves. I also prefer women who go by Steve. CNN titled the show, Who's Talking to Chris Wallace? They really missed the mark here. The show should have been titled, Who Gives a Fuck About Chris Wallace? Because CNN would soon find out the answer is no one. Wallace Chrissy was so popular, CNN Plus folded within 5 weeks. I guess Chrissy admitting to America that he felt like a woman didn't resonate with normal people. But that's okay. That is okay. You see, Chris Wallace, he was not the reason CNN Plus failed. The network made a monumental mistake by surrounding him with huge embarrassing failures like Jamel Hill and Rex Chapman. Chris Wallace is old. He was born before abortion was legalized. His audience, they're old too. They don't know how to access streaming services. So CNN knew that he would perform better on linear television. They put his program on Sunday nights. Season 1, Huge Embarrassing Failure. Now, this would normally be cause for cancellation, but Chris Wallace, he used his white privilege to get picked up for season 2. It was either white privilege or the fact that CNN is locked in his contract and didn't want to pay him to do nothing. If I'm running CNN, I would rather pay Chris Wallace to be off television, but what the hell do I know? I'm not a shit fuck. Throughout the month of December into early January, both CNN and Chris Wallace went into overdrive promoting this disaster. CNN issued a press release. Season 1 captivated viewers with Chris Wallace interviewing all the heavy hitters. Wankers were spanked as Chris Wallace asked baseball legend Alex Rodriguez how to properly hold the stiff wood. Emotions ran high when he asked AOC what it was like growing up as a traumatized, marginalized birthing person with extremely wealthy parents. CNN booked him on late night television with Stephen Colbert. They both laughed and joked with each other about who could turn away the most viewers. They booked an interview with the Los Angeles Times, where the Times allowed Chris Wallace to spread lies and propaganda. With a straight face, Chris Wallace told the LA Times, "We are really starting to build an audience here. Last season, we were number 1. We beat both Fox and MSNBC. What? Number 1 in what? Number 1 in viewers over the age of 100? Number 1 in viewers who believe Chris Wallace is entertaining? There's only one of those people with a pulse, his wife. God forbid her battery dies, this audience will be non-existent." During his debut month last September, Chris Wallace was averaging 401,000 viewers. Season 2 premiered in January. How many people watched the supposed number 1 weekend show on cable news? He averaged 365,000 viewers in January, with the final show of the month drawing just 323,000. Now, how can a guy who drew millions of viewers for years on Fox every Sunday morning go from the pinnacle of success to renting a cardboard box beside Bomani Jones in the WNBA dump? Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that Chris Wallace is completely unrelatable to the normal person. If you're going to do an interview show, you have to not only relate to the person you're interviewing, but you have to relate to your audience. Interviewing politicians and presidents, that is completely different than interviewing athletes and public figures. When you're interviewing political figures, people expect to be informed. When interviewing public figures, people expect to be entertained. Let me show you an example of why Chris Wallace is the newest nominee for the Hef Awards. On his most recent episode, he interviewed Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw is a beloved figure amongst normal people. It's hard not to like the guy. He's lighthearted, he's entertaining. If you're Chris Wallace, you want to set up this interview to play to Terry Bradshaw's strengths. This should have been so simple. You allow Terry Bradshaw to entertain your audience. What does Wallace Chrissy do? He tries to trip Terry Bradshaw up with a gotcha question. "Terry, I have a head full of fake hair. What happened to yours? Gotcha. I have no wrinkles from Fauci poking my ass with Botox. Why does your forehead look like a wave pool? Gotcha." Chris Wallace is an East Coast elitist with a strong disdain for anyone smart enough to not live in a city run by woke shitfucks. In his eyes, Terry Bradshaw is some dumb redneck from the bayou of Louisiana. During the interview, Chris Wallace dug up a comment made by Hollywood Henderson from 50 years ago. He goes all the way back 50 years, back when Chris Wallace was a 40-year-old virgin handing out Preparation H in the bathroom of the Shaggin' Dragon. Watch the exchange for yourself.
You had to deal, Terry, with another issue when you were playing, and this was the rap that you were, forgive me, dumb. And Hollywood Henderson famously said, you know, he couldn't spell cat if he was spotted a C and an A. Did that talk get to you? Did it get under your skin?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The dumb image, I have yet to figure out. I've taken that image and had some fun with it. I'm kind of, as you will know, Chris, I like to have fun in interviews. I like to entertain people. And if it's at my expense, I'm fine with it. But there are times, even at Fox, when it's Terry's always, the goofball. And there are times where I don't say anything, but I do say to myself, enough.
Make no mistake about it, this was 100% intentional. Chris Wallace knows his show is struggling. Even though shitfucks in the mainstream media do nothing but praise Chris Wallace, they are clearly not watching him on a weekly basis. The show hasn't generated headlines in months until now. Chris Wallace trying to humiliate Terry Bradshaw because he knew it would generate interest. He knew the mainstream media would pick up the story. He knew normal people would be pissed off about it. This misperception that Terry Bradshaw is dumb, it has been beaten to death. This has been talked about for decades. Terry Bradshaw, he's addressed this hundreds of times publicly, so what was the point in Chris Wallace bringing it up again? Besides generating interest for this disaster of a show and publicly humiliating Terry Bradshaw, what was the point of this? The only dumbass I saw in that clip was the guy who told Shania Twain he likes feeling like a woman. This dude is absolutely insufferable. Let me tell you how bad Chris Wallace is failing at CNN. Cable news networks, they have a base audience. They have a core group of viewers that are going to watch no matter what. CNN, for example, their base audience consists of woke welfare recipients and pregnant men. These people have nothing to do with their time besides watch CNN. But even these deplorables are refusing to watch Chris Wallace. The 2 hours directly following his show, ratings on CNN increased by 30%, meaning people are changing the channel when the face of Chris Wallace breaks their screens, and they're coming back once the show is over. If that doesn't qualify Chris Wallace for the Hef Awards, I don't know what will. But you give me your thoughts. Should Chris Wallace qualify for the Hef Awards? Also, let me know what you think of him trying to publicly humiliate Terry Bradshaw. I thought it was tasteless and a desperate ploy to generate interest for this dying program. Am I wrong? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.